Happy New Year, beautiful divine feminines. Clearing. I just want to say this last year has been so incredible, getting to know all of you, working with you, seeing your comments, loving you, knowing we're all in this together, and I'm just so thrilled. I can't tell you how much I love doing this every single day with you. Ah, okay, let's start off with a little message right now. So actually pick number 1, 2, and 3 in your mind. I'm going to get, so Shells from Divine Feminine here on YouTube sent me these incredible cards, mirroring messages of union cards, and I'm going to use them. So thanks, Shells. I'm going to post her channel in the comments below and pin it so that you can see who she is, because she's been a beautiful influence on my journey, and I started watching her before I started doing YouTube videos, so an inspiration as well. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Pile, well, it's not even going to be a pile, it's just a message. So resonate with one of those, and here we go. So card 1, message from your DM. Oh, your DM wants to say so much. I'm going to throw that back in, see what comes out though. Okay, 1. I love you wholeheartedly. I did see I am ready too. So pile 1, I love you wholeheartedly. Okay. 2, if you chose number 2, what can we see? Number 2. Pile 2. Card 2, what is the message from DM? We get a couple. I am going to call you. I want to please you. And I talk about you. So if you've wondered if your DM has mentioned you or anything, or you're going to get communication, looks like yes, they want to make you happy and they are going to connect with you. Pile 3. I am ready. I'm ready. Okay. Embrace it, beautiful divine feminines. Okay, so now we're going to get into a little bit of a support reading here for divine feminines. I like the pretty colors. Divine feminines, what can we see in this new year? What is it that we can take a look at? This is just completely winging it. Oh yes, we got divine feminine and contemplation. So yeah, what is it to be a divine feminine? I keep staring at the Earth Warriors Oracle, so I'm being told we need to get one more kind of set the energetic stage here before we get into it. So what is it, Divine Creator, that we are needing to see before we get into the main reading? One energy. We get Diamond Tiger of the Black Moon. Second chances bring success. Wow. Okay, 37. So things are going to be different in 2022. False starts. I've been saying this for a little while, that the false starts of the past, after the Mars-Venus conjunction on the 12th of February, things are going to be able to unfold naturally because both counterparts are getting to a place of 0 point of refinement where we can actually build on a solid new foundation that is embodied. It's not just hypothetical or wishful thinking, it's an inclusion in our very way of life. And so now connections coming in will be sure-footed. Let's see what we get here. So, your soul is on the diamond path of spiritual growth. You may feel pressured by life at times, but at a higher level, those challenges are helping you to realize your true strengths of character. You have the personal will, strength, and physical power that you need for success no matter what has happened in the past. You are developing the spirit, passion, and vitality to fight like a tigress defending her cubs. Believe in yourself. There is great dignity and strength in your heart. Nothing has been wasted. Your stamina, your perseverance, your stubborn adherence, all of it. Divine feminines, you are characters. You've been character building. You are extraordinary. You are the elite lovers. The ones that stand the test of time, that persevere, that know what's up. Yeah, you're the ones that believe in love, divine feminines. So keep going. Don't tell yourself you're foolish or misguided or weak because you know this kind of a love that is inspired by these journeys. Don't criticize yourself. Embrace it. It's a God-given gift to this planet to have those who believe in love like divine feminines. So extraordinary. Okay, so I'm actually going to do a master reading. I'm going to pull out a lot of cards for us today, divine feminines. We're going to go really deep into the messages of intentional view for 2022. I'm going to pull 6 cards for the emotional, conscious, and physical level focus here and see what we can look at. So thank you, Divine Creator. How can we further go into the extraordinary character of the Divine Feminines at this time with intention for 2022 going forward? What is the most beneficial energy? Twin Flame, Union, Foundation, and True Love. That's an amazing first split. Divine Feminines, keep believing. Okay, what is it, Divine Creator, that we can see emotionally, mentally, and physically for the Divine Feminine Collective 2022 coming up? I'm going to do the emotional realm first and get some more cards in a minute. So, okay, the key card for this layer is transformation, emotional transformation. We're en route from what used to be, it is the 3D perspective to the ascended unconditional love perspective. And so we're starting to see with more clarity, sobriety, coming out of the fear, the craziness. We're starting to see how those things were misguided and now prioritize what really, really matters, but in an embodied way so that it doesn't feel like the shoes are too big or wishful thinking. But don't be hard on yourself if you're not quite there yet, because it's en route. It's in the reverse here. It's in progress. So there are some things for all divine feminines to really face the truth of. Foolishness, immaturity, misguided stuff. The Fool in the reverse is kind of that foolish energy, the leap before thinking, or even dropping through into like realizing if actions are based in reality or fantasy. I mean, when we put our foot in our mouths, when we overreact, when we chase out of fear, all of those things, divine feminine, those aren't productive. They don't affirm the love available. Those things are knee-jerk reactions based on lack. So divine feminines, there's a slowing down, an emotional change that's occurring whereby there's more time being taken. Things aren't scary. It is what it is. A more accurate invitation to read energy, authentically, and to go in a different direction if something is not fruitful for a time or forever. Letting go, rolling with things with ease, and knowing when that is so that it's not out of an imbalance, so that it's not premature. Divine feminines are so emotional, so gifted, and while we're coming into our own, there's a steep learning curve of, just being unapologetically divine feminine and having that feedback from the reality sharpen. But we're moving into being able to do this not only on the fly, but consistently as a way of life. And the refreshing part is that there's so much collective ascension happening, that we're able to do this with more people more of the time. And that's going to bring a lot more surety and confidence in for everybody. The more we can be ourselves, the safer it is, the more productive it is to just drop into our truth. The more we can talk ourselves down these like emotional ledges and be in mastery. So keep setting that as a goal. Just keep setting balance as a goal. Some are a lot further along and finding joy in that. Some are just realizing how much power they might have one day over it. It doesn't matter where you are on that spectrum. It's the consistent theme for the feminine. We are coming out of a lot of oppression and imbalance, and it is becoming more and more safe, feminines, to really do this. It's not going back to the way it was. There are radical new ways of seeing why past actions, emotions, emotional responses were at play, generationally, culturally, circumstantially. This radical new perspective, it's just like, look at the eyes on the bat, just boop, open. It's like, wow, I see the light through the darkness, through the cringy energy, maybe even, of this kind of inconvenient truth of how all of us have conducted ourselves at times. As we're kind of sobering up from that, we're seeing, it wasn't just our fault. It's a collective sickness, and we're coming out of it. We're coming out of it, and every time we wake up to the understanding of the big picture, we gain a bit more ground on it. And that little effort towards the light that we all contribute moves humongous mountains on the planet. So keep in that humble awakening. This is an infinity symbol. There will always be infinite layers of truth revealed. You will never fully arrive, so have beginner's eyes. Continually seek to refresh your moment-to-moment awareness of what is beneficial in the moment. This is mastery. It's ever-changing and always the same. Love is the only same. And yet the array, the kaleidoscope of options that we have for how to roll that love out through us is always changing. That should be fun and should be approached with gratitude and bliss, ideally, as we let go of anything, that misses the mark. I remember a few months ago there were a lot of analogies and definitions of sin as the arrow missing the mark. So hit targets of love, divine feminines, and continuously be encouraged by each time you feel it in your bones that you've done it well. Take pride in that spiritual affirming energy. When you do something well with all your heart like that, that's its own reward. So keep on that layering of reality, on that layer of reality. And then we have unconditional love of self, embodied, the Ace of Cups. Inverse is internalizing the love. So forgive yourself. When you walk in that forgiveness of self, in the chill factor, you're going to see everything else as it is what it is as well, and you can take it or leave it based on that knowing. I want to say the ownership of having gone through things and balanced them out You can see, you can witness anything outside of you as in progress as well. If it doesn't align with where you're at, it's en route, and send it love. That's why we're taught to bless our enemies. And it's biblical that we're meant to bless our enemies, because lower vibrational stuff does not come from a place of abundance. And when there is abundance, there is generosity. So give the benefit of the doubt. Offer more. Tap into source so you never have a shortage, Divine Feminine. Just continue to see things that way. It is the wellspring of eternal everything. And then we have the signs and synchronicities and the interconnectedness. This is actually quite a profound concept. I just saw 1555, so changes. This is a big changeover energy here. This is 8-8. So we've already got the infinite coming in. But 88, a nice number, everybody. We are still en route to see how it all works together. I've personally had a new layer of signs and synchronicities showing up, and it's not directly connected with my DM. We go through these different waves of signs and synchronicities. Those things are indicators from the divine, your guides for you. Do not attribute them to your DM or any other person. That is your personal love affair with the divine that shows you are on the right track. Just because you have signs and synchronicities does not mean that it's your divine counterpart. It means you are in the right place at the right time, and open your consciousness to what that might be. If it's appropriate, it may involve other people. If it's not to involve other people, the primary message is that it is for your viewing enjoyment, for your deepening of safety and purpose and intentionality. It's there to show you that you matter, that the divine is there for you, that you were created, that you are loved, and that you are valid. So keep your eyes on the things that are coming to you as your personal confirmations. It is extraordinary when they are connected to another person. It is incredibly fun when you can share those things with someone else. But don't worship the someone else in those instances, because it is first and foremost something that's happening that you bear witness to, because it's for you. Okay, so conscious mind. We start with the lovers, incredible. And soulmate reunion. I just heard, for some, we got this message yesterday that there could be new soulmates or your actual twin flame coming in. So keep an open mind. This is the mental layer. Divine Feminines, release your twin. Let go of needing it to be owned and proven and engaged with. Let the chips fall where they may. You cannot escape your destiny, but the way that you observe the journey is going to benefit you greater if you have a feeling of bliss, a joy, appreciation along the way. Remember, it's all happening through us, and if we have eyes to see, we can enjoy every bit of it. There's no destination. It is now. So yeah, coming into all of the varied experiences supporting your present here. This is where timelines converge. We started seeing a little while ago how linear time, things of the past not working out, worries about the future, skepticism about what is being witnessed in the moment, all of that's starting to fall away for the feminine collective, so that it all supports the beautiful, colorful rooting system. Every little bit of your experience can be delicious. It can support you. And it can be very unassuming on the surface. And you can know. You can know. So there's a lot of very personal messages for you, Divine Feminines, about your knowledge, your connection, the intimacy between you and Source that is not boastful, that is just this chill, embodied knowing of what makes you tick and how you see the world. This is, you don't have to preach this stuff. You can just be liquid compassion in action. Flow feminines. Okay, lovers, new beginning. This is the higher love. On my table, this is pointing into the future and towards prosperous new beginnings. So divine feminines, your abundance mindset, all systems engage. You are really dialing it in towards alignment with this higher and bringing that, channeling it into the physical. Again, the aces don't have all the answers. This is a willingness. It's saying yes. So if you commit to nothing else with a New Year's resolution, just say yes to what is meant for you, divine feminines. Just say yes to being open to what shows up in your reality as part of the big picture, as part of the support. If it doesn't feel good and right and true, step away from it. But if it does, see where it goes. This is such a beautiful way to be present and trust, to put into practice what you have learned. For many that have been with me for a year or more even, since I've been doing these readings, it's been such an incredible unfolding of divine awareness into the earth plane. And it continues. This is the beginner's eyes. We're in store for wonderful things. There's so much balance growing in the collective. But humanity at large, twin or not, we're all going through this incredible ascension process. Okay, so then we have the Three of Cups, and this isn't the greatest feeling card. It does feel like letting go. This does feel like letting go of certain relationships, friendships. Again, those that we thought were our twin, thought were soulmates, thought were more significant people in our lives. It's the lessons, and if they're meant, they will come back in around. But there is a releasing, if not just in the mindset, a proper way of thinking of things that we can include even who we think is our twin as part of our own journey and not attached to them needing to be the one partner. Because if you are in alignment and if you have learned from your twin, whatever comes into your life after, if you do release your twin, will be that or better. The divine says, let go of the person. If they're not showing up, release and open to what is for you. I'm going to continue reading for who you think is your divine counterpart and what we think divine counterparts are. It is up to each one of you to discern what your destined path will be and how you can befriend your own energy in response to who is in your life and the examples through specific people that you know and love, what that's doing to your psyche, your consciousness as you embark on your spiritual becoming. I encourage all of us to relax the idea of fixating on someone that's not showing up or not able to as an ideal. An ideal is matched energy in the moment that is mutual and desired equally, justified. And so we get the star in the reverse. This is you being on your destined path right now, divine feminines. There is a little bit of a lack of hope for those who have not had communication from their twin over the holidays or New Year's. That can be a little bit disappointing. It can be, but at the same time, you are wherever you are, divine feminine, and it is of the utmost priority to continually just be good in that so that you can be present right where you are, so that you can see that you will never be off of your path. It's still here, even though it's in the reverse, it's still here. You are still the embodiment of your path. 100% guaranteed you're right on it because you are where you are and you exist. We need to say that stuff out loud sometimes. You're not missing the mark, or, you know, your divine counterpart is not wrecking your chances at your destiny. Just because you exist, you are your destiny in this moment, and it is part of it. That's the theme of this conscious paradigm shift, that it is all you. Everything you experience can only be experienced by you. It's all about you. Your universe collaborates with the universes overlaid by all of the other souls that you get the blessed opportunity to engage with in this life. But the magic ticket is mutuality and knowing yourself well enough to understand what is valuable to contribute a mutual effort towards. Many times it can feel lonely as you level up, but it is worth it. Great love is worth waiting for, divine feminines. Then we have the student card. We have this research card. We have this open curiosity card. It is pointing towards the concepts that have just come through about, you know, giving yourself that reality check that you are always wherever you are, and the only consistent is eternal love and your connection to source. So, you know, connect to the divine, to energy, to the universe, whatever you want to call it, so wholeheartedly that you truly do become the embodiment of love, divine feminines. And that does mean being able to let go of all things on every level and just feel blissed right out in any given moment. Everything else, we've got the Five of Wands here. This is one of those subtle energies that came out in yesterday's reading, the strongholds, the things we take for granted. The Five of Wands doesn't appear to look like a big deal, but these subtle things, the subtle ways that we don't fully live because our mind is distracted, our thoughts are elsewhere, our efforts are falling short, something. Whatever it is that you put in, fill in the blank with your excuses not to live and feel alive. That's this stuff. Be curious how you can continue to eliminate that stuff and see it for what it is, because oftentimes it's like right there on a layer around us, and we have a very difficult time seeing that stuff in ourselves. Divine feminines, you're so intuitive. You can see it in others. You can see what holds other people back. Be curious about what that might be for yourself. Okay, now we're going into the physical. There's the Mother of Wands and the Contemplation card. They came back out. So Divine Feminine, front row and center. Prosperity and growth, hurrah. This is the new. So we get a 6-6. We had an 8-8. We've got a 6-6 in the key cards. Oh, and we had the 8. Nice. And the death card is the number 8. Oh, sorry, that's the 13. 6, prosperity and growth, reunion, you know, connecting with those that make your heart sing. Keep going in that direction. We are in a love relationship reading here, so divine feminines, there is great promise coming. Divine feminine energy is in the reverse here with the Queen of Wands, and so there is work to do. This is investment in self. Inverse cards make it an internalized motion. When I read them, it's always, what can we look at within? And so this is the pros and cons. Where do you need to do some internal housekeeping so that your external reality follows suit? We do get the Tower at the end of this row, and I'm going to get into it more, but this is major foundational changes. It goes hand in hand with this emotional transformation that you've been undergoing. And your physical realm, the Tower in the physical row is actual physical restructuring in your life. In the inverse, it's talking about the changes within you that will manifest an external projection that differs from what was in the past. So housing and relationships and career and belief structures, ways of speaking, ways of showing up, all of that is under consideration right now. But we start here at the beginning, knowing that each one of us gets to decide what truly empowers us, what inspires us, what lights our soul on fire. Seek to make 2022 the year that your soul got lit on fire, Divine Feminines. What is that for you? I've got a mixture of belly laughter and like instant tears wanting to come through because, Feminines, this is the key. It's all about you. All about what makes your heart sing, what sets your soul on fire. That passion. All of it. Choosing. If you couldn't make a wrong choice, if you could do anything that you were inspired to that would set your soul on fire, what if you could look at it, Divine Feminines, as though if you do this choice or this choice, they all lead to your destiny? What if you had full permission to do whatever the heck you please that really spoke to you and knew that it would lead you to your eventual destiny, regardless if you have other options that you could do that you think might get you there as well? What if you just took the fun one, the real one, the one that feels like, I heard retirement early. Whatever that thing is you have been telling yourself you'll do when you have more time or when you can situate your life to get there, what if you started doing it now? What if that is your path to your destiny with joy? You're going to get to your destiny no matter what. You can't help it. You exist. You were created for it. So why not take the road that feels the most enlivened now to you, Divine Feminines? For many, this card showed up because you have chosen to put yourself into that alignment. You have opened to the willingness to look at life that way and to embark on it. You have seen that great love and the embodiment of love is ecstatic and there. You might not know what it looks like. That's okay. This is just the one and the two. It's just the willingness to say, I am ready, and then allow that quantum configuration to work its way under the surface and project a new reality around you based on that commitment to your path within, Divine Feminines. There's a deep hermit energy next with the Magician and the Tower as the three final major arcana towards prosperity and growth. This is the Hermit again. This is the energy of knowing that destined path. The Hermit has the star in the lantern that is seen on the horizon, the visionary energy that shows where we're going. You know, if you can witness and capture those visions you've been shown, and then ask the divine, how would I get there from here? That is your trail map. That is what you need to do. So no matter what that vision is that can illuminate to you within, you can manifest it. If you can take a moment to say to the divine, what would be a profoundly beneficial thing to find myself living in? Just having that flash of a vision and then say, how do I get there from here? You will immediately start seeing the things that need to be done to get you there. They might not feel easy. They might not feel guaranteed. But be careful when you see them as something that someone else would need to do. We're not talking about the things that would need to happen that you think your DM would need to do. We're talking about if it was all guaranteed to work out in that vision that you hold in your mind's eye on Most High when you ask what would be a beneficial vision for my life. when you look at that, what do you need to do? How do you need to get there? What would need to happen? What could you do today that would put you on that path, that would feel the most appropriate? Some of these things are going to be hard. Many divine feminines are procrastinating the major changes they know they would need to make to come into union because they don't see their DM doing the things that they think the DM should be doing to come into union. So it's like, I'm just going to hold off until I see something, or my DM says that they want me to do this change and that they will guarantee that they will be there for me if I make this change. No, divine feminines, if you have seen this muse in another person, it is only so that you have the added confirmation to make the changes that fall short, that you're settling for in your life. It's not the other person. That person is your spiritual accountability partner because they've illuminated what would need to change in your life to take your life to an extraordinary level. But even if you are not guaranteed a romantic love with that person, you should still do the things that have been shown to you that are settling energies. Make those changes regardless. Life is too short to settle, divine feminines. So whether you end up with your DM or not, take the cue, take the muse, live your best life. It is all about your prosperity and growth. As you step out of anything that you have not fully activated, any lower vibrational settling, playing small, holding back, it shows you more about the nature of reality. It shows you more about the nature of growth. It shows you more about your capacity. And so, divine feminines, you are on track for greatness. And you don't have to worry about whether you'll end up with your divine masculine or not. This twin flame journey calls those who are extraordinarily driven towards perfection and purity and righteousness and aliveness. So allow that to work through this. Allow the process to unfold naturally by doing your due diligence, divine feminines. It is safe to do that when you don't put it on the person. It's safe to do it because you should do that anyways. You should be living that best life whether or not that person that you first were woken up by is going to be in your life or not. That in and of itself is enough of a blessing to warrant being grateful that you met that person. And then seeing what happens in life. It is a great mystery, a great adventure. Let's get a few cards here, divine feminine. If I don't get anything right away, okay. The heart is awake. Love, innocence, and reverence. Have reverence for everything that has happened, but have the innocence to not tell yourself what that everything has meant or what it needs to mean going forward. Have unconditional love and just keep going, divine feminines. All of the things meant for you will justifiably be proven if and when they are meant to later down the road. For now, just do the things you know you need to do for your own success. What else can we see? 2 more cards for divine feminines. Be fearless and bold. We're just getting 2 energies on 1 card. Be fearless and bold. Badger spirit. Don't take no for an answer. But embody what that means. Don't tell yourself no by playing small. We're not talking about external things. Be fearless and bold. Do not navigate based on other people. Navigate based on what you've been shown regarding other people, but take the cue that it has always been about you. You are the central theme in your story, divine feminines. May this year bless all of us greatly and continue to unhook us from expectation and attachment and throw us into wild aliveness. Oh, bye for now.